Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. First of all, I just want to say thank you for all the love and all the feedback on my life update video. If you've not watched that video yet, then you can watch it up here somewhere. So yeah, basically this is the first in the wedding series videos that you guys said that you want to see. So in the wedding series video, it'll be all about kind of how I plan my wedding in my Nigerian wedding in the UK, the finding venues, my skincare routine, all that good stuff. So this first video, as you have probably guessed from the title, will be the skincare and fitness video. So this isn't just for people getting married, but obviously I'm going to be specific about like the timelines and stuff like that for people getting married, but anybody wanting to just improve their skin can apply the things I'm going to tell you. And I really do think I have some really useful information to help you, because yeah, I had some skin things that were really annoying, but I've literally managed to completely transform my skin, and I want to just impart my knowledge off on you as well, and hopefully that will help you whether you get married or not. So how I'm going to do this video is I'm going to start with the beauty stuff and then do the fitness stuff afterwards. So how I prepared for my wedding from a beauty standpoint and from a fitness standpoint. And I'll link all the products as well that I use, particularly the ones that I really found helped me greatly. So I'll link them all down below. All of the ones that I can find, I'll link for you. Okay, so first of all, like my skin I don't have bad skin. It's kind of just okay. Sometimes it'll be a bit textured, sometimes it'll be okay. But one thing that I did have consistently, which was a huge, it used to bug me so much, was that I used to get like these thick spots, and particularly along my jawline, and they would never really go. Like sometimes it'll get flatter, but it never really went, and it was so annoying because it was just like preventing me from having the clear skin that I had wanted. I hadn't had this like forever, but I can't remember how long ago it kind of started, but it had just been there for so long. So when I was getting married and I was like, okay, I need to sort my skin out, I need to like absolutely just fix it up. So yeah, so that's kind of what I'm going to go into, how I kind of did that, what I implemented, all this stuff that you need to know. And if I keep looking down, it's because I've written notes just so that I don't forget anything that I want to tell you as well. Okay, so how I kind of went about doing things was that kind of 6 months to the wedding, I started looking after my skin and doing more of the experimentation stuff. Looking after my skin, but experimenting with things because I had time, right? So the main things that I did then, the kind of big changes that I implemented were firstly drinking at least 2 liters of water a day. Now I drink water the majority of the time, like 99% of the time I just drink water anyway, but one problem I have is that I do not drink enough of it. So I was like, okay, I need to really like force myself and, you know, make sure that I'm drinking that 2 liters a day. And it was hard because literally every 5 minutes I'd be going to the toilet to pee. But I think you do get a bit more used to it, and like your bladder strengthens up and you're not going to pee as much, but still you do go pee quite a lot throughout the day compared to if you don't drink that much water. But let me tell you something, that is like one of the biggest things that will help your skin, because it's not always about the product that you apply, the products that you apply on your skin that actually helps. It's kind of to do with things that you're applying from the outside, but also what you're doing on the inside as well. So yeah, that is like a big thing that I made sure I was doing, that really massively helped me. The next thing that I did was start to gradually, from around the 6-month mark, I started to gradually cut out processed foods. So when we were quite a few months away from the wedding, I knew that I had a bit of time, you know, so anything that I ate, I knew that by like a month's time, any kind of impact, I'm not making sense, but basically like I knew I had time before I had to get really strict on it, so I didn't completely like get strict until close to the wedding. But yeah, slowly, gradually I started to cut down on processed foods, sugars, things like that. I basically was like researching like things that break you out, and I was just like not risking with the majority of stuff. If it said that I don't know, grapes broke you out, then I would just avoid it. Obviously that isn't the case, but you get what I'm saying, right? So yeah, so I was just starting to like research things that break you out and start cutting things out, but particularly processed foods and sugars. And then I knew, like, as I got closer and closer to the wedding, then I was going to get really strict on it, and I did. I was not eating crisps. I wasn't having like desserts or anything like that, or things with like artificial sugars in it. I was being so strict and so good, and I'm glad I did, because I think that really massively helped. Okay, another thing that I started doing was getting regular facials. So I started in February. So yeah, that was exactly 6 months before my wedding. So I started going to this place called Core Blimey Beauty. If you follow me on Instagram, then you will probably have seen me post about it. I started going every kind of 4 to 6 weeks, and honestly it was the best decision that I had made. They are so good. So they're a black owned beauty salon, and they are so good. So one thing that I had read and I'd heard as well, like time and time again, was that you should never get facials done 2 weeks up to your wedding. But with Core Blimey Beauty, because I had seen the effect that their treatments have on my skin, I knew that I had to get it 2 weeks before. So what I would say is, if you're going to Core Blimey Beauty, which I highly recommend if you are in the UK, particularly if you're in London, because that's where they're based, that you can definitely do get a treatment done 2 weeks before, or at least the treatment that I did, which is called the maskne treatment. But if you are doing any other treatment, then yeah, I would definitely not do that, because a lot of treatments actually they kind of draw out the toxins from your skin and can cause you to break out. But the treatment that I got done, it was just amazing. Like, it just cleared your skin. Like, they used like the, what you call it, high frequency, I think it's called, which zaps and kills the bacteria from underneath your skin. They used the red light and the blue light or something. It was just really good. So I was confident, because I've been enough times to see that it never broke me out. So 2 weeks before my wedding, I did do that treatment as well. But typically, like I say, if you're not going to this specific salon doing this specific treatment that I did, then I would definitely not recommend you getting a facial 2 weeks before, but start it a lot earlier in your kind of lead up to your wedding. Okay, so just some more things that I recommend you do and you don't do, right? So I'll start with the do's. First of all is, don't experiment with new products the closer you get to your wedding. When you're kind of like 6 months out, 4 months out, it's fine, because I think it takes like 28 days for you to see the result of new products. So, you know, if you're starting kind of 4 to 6 months out, then you've got time to see whether a product is working for you or not, and you can, you know, continue using it or take it out of your routine as necessary. But if you are doing it kind of 2 months before, you're not giving yourself enough time to see how the product's going to actually work for you. So you don't want a situation where you kind of, you know, a few weeks to the wedding and you realize, oh, okay, this product is really breaking me out, or it's making my skin textured or whatever. So don't leave it too late to experiment with products. Okay, the next thing is to be consistent with your skincare routine. So before wedding planning and everything started, I had days where I would literally, I'd be so sleepy in the night, and I'd be like, ugh, you know, forget it, I'll just not bother washing my face in the night, which is not a good habit to form, and I didn't do it often. But when it got to wedding planning, I literally never skipped a wash day in the night for my face. So yeah, like, just make sure you're super consistent, because at the end of the day, you will only see results if you are consistent. Okay, the next thing that I would actually really highly recommend is to sleep on a silk pillowcase, because they're actually really good for your skin. It's also really good for your hair, but yeah, for your skin particularly, really good. And I think it has like antibacterial properties, don't quote me on that, but yeah, it's really good. I just got mine from Amazon and I absolutely love it, and it's just so like comfortable, and like, it's really nice on your skin. It just feels really nice on your skin, but it's also good for skincare as well. So definitely recommend doing that. Okay, another one which some of you might think is really obvious, but wash your bed sheets regularly, because bacteria builds up so quick. Just think about it, like, you're sleeping on your bed sheets every night, and yeah, like, you need to change it regularly. If you can do like every week, but then at the most I'd say every 2 weeks, because if there's bacteria on your bedding, on your pillow, and that's going on your face, then that's going to cause you to break out. And even if you're like, because what I was doing was I was even just washing my pillows every like 3 to 4 days, just because obviously that's what you're lying on and that's what your face, it comes into direct contact with. So even if you do something like that, that honestly really does help. Okay, the next thing that I was doing, so some of these things might sound a bit extra, but honestly, when you're getting married, you want to make sure that you're doing everything, or at least I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything, even if it meant being a little bit extra. That meant that, you know, I had the best chance of getting my skin to a really good place in time for my wedding. So another thing that I was doing was that I wasn't using my towel to dry my face. I was only using kitchen tissues, or I would just let it air dry. Again, it's just all about minimizing the bacteria that comes into contact with your face, basically, because bacteria leads to spots. So, and another one that I was doing, which links to the fitness stuff, is actually to exercise regularly, because exercising really just helps to like get rid of all those toxins through the sweat from your skin. And yeah, so I always find that when I'm exercising more, my skin looks a lot better as well. So definitely incorporate some kind of exercise into your skincare routine as well. SPF. This one is such an important one. I think a lot of people, especially a lot of women of color, we often think, oh well, you know, I'm dark, I don't need it, da, da, da. You really do need it, and honestly it can make a huge difference to your skin. Like any hyperpigmentation that you've got, if you're not applying SPF to your skin, it's going to get darker, and yeah, it just really protects your skin from like aging as well, and things like that that you might not necessarily see now, but like in the future. So I highly recommend it, and I'll leave my favorites down in the description box below with any of the products that I leave down there as well. But yeah, definitely use SPF, and I think it makes a way bigger difference than people think. And my current one that I'm using now is the, is it Bonds and Sands or something? I absolutely love it. It leaves your skin like glowing, which I absolutely love. But yeah, it's just so good. So I'll leave all this down in the description box for you below, but do not skip out on the SPF. Ooh, okay, my skincare smoothie. So the next thing is to nourish your skin from the inside out. So I've kind of touched upon this earlier, but yeah, basically I had ask anybody in my house, I used to call it my skincare smoothie. So I used to have a skincare smoothie every single day, and it consisted of, I mean, it varied a little bit, but usually from time to time, but the main ingredients would be so there'd be like frozen mangoes, bananas, frozen berries because they're antioxidants, and then I'd have spinach or I'd have kale because they're both really good for you generally, but really good for your skin as well. And then I'd put oat milk in and peanut butter, so that, and then I'd blend it, and it was actually, and I still have it till this day, it tastes so good. But yeah, so it's really good for you. Tastes really good, and it's easy to stick to. And I know people, like some of you might think kale, spinach in a smoothie disgusting, but no, it just changes the color slightly, but actually you can't really taste it at all. So yeah, I used to have that every single day, and like I said, I still do have that now, because it genuinely tastes so good. It tastes like you're having a dessert. So I strongly recommend doing something like that nourishes your skin from the outside in, even if it's not a skincare smoothie, even if it's like having like turmeric tea, because turmeric's really good for your skin as well, or like, I don't know, green tea maybe, because I think that's quite a good detoxing kind of tea. So just find something that works for you. So I knew I had to have something that I actually enjoyed the taste of, otherwise I wouldn't stick to it. So that's why I was having my smoothie, and I absolutely love it. Okay, the next thing is to make sure, this is one that I was so bad with. Oh, my legs are hurting. This is one that I was so bad with, but is to make sure that you're washing your makeup brushes regularly. I really was not doing that. It's actually really bad. But yeah, definitely make sure you wash it regularly. Again, like I said, I was doing everything so extra and I was just doing the most. So I went from literally hardly washing my makeup brushes ever to washing it after every single time I use them. And again, it's just because bacteria builds up in them, and if you're applying it directly to your skin. And something else actually that I stopped doing was that, so you know, for example, with concealer and you apply it directly to your skin, so if you have spots and you do that, you can be transferring like bacteria from your skin to your makeup products. So I actually stopped doing that. So now I always apply products to the back of my hands and then apply it from there to my skin, rather than directly from the applicator. So there are like some things that honestly it's just not easy to do that with, so I still apply it directly. But yeah, for the majority of the products now, I never put it directly on my skin. So that is a really, really helpful tip that I didn't actually think about or know. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to things that you shouldn't do, and there might be a little bit of crossover, but the first one I'm going to just kind of glaze over it really quickly because I've mentioned it, which is don't experiment with, the sun's going in and out, which is don't experiment with products too close to your wedding. That's like the biggest mistake you could make. Another one is, so when you're washing your hair in the shower, try not to let like your shampoo and your conditioner and all like your products run down your face. Try and like lean back and wash your face that way, rather than like, you know, running the water this way kind of thing and having all the product run down your face. But if you do get products on your face or whatever, just make sure that you're washing your face after you wash your hair. I feel like it's common sense, but at the same time, like, I feel like it's worth saying just in case people didn't think of that, or didn't think of doing that. So yeah, always make sure you're washing your face after shampooing and conditioning your hair, just to get rid of any product that's on your face. Okay, the next two, the first one is to avoid touching your face with your fingers, and I'm sure you've heard that a million times, but it's so true. Just think throughout the day the number of things that you're touching, and then if you're not touching your face, you're just applying bacteria, all sorts of bacteria to your skin, and you're definitely going to encourage your skin to break out, which you do not want. And then the next one is one that I feel actually people don't realize, but when you hold your phone against your face, like, you're just going to break out. Like, so you might be sitting there thinking, oh my god, yeah, I actually do always get spots down the side of my face. It's probably because of your phone, because again, you're touching your phone with your fingers all day long, bacteria in your fingers, and then you're now putting it on your face. So don't do that. So either, like, what I usually do is like hold it up against my face, hold it up against my ears, but like not touching my face, or I'll just put my AirPods in, or like put earphones in or headphones, whatever you want to use. But yeah, that's actually a really, really important one that I think a lot of people overlook and don't realize is the problem, especially for those of you who get spots down like your jawline and the side of your face. That's probably why. Okay, so that is kind of the fitness side of things. Hopefully that's been helpful. We'll move on to that's the beauty side of things. Now we'll move on to the fitness. My fitness stuff is really straightforward, really simple. I've always been quite an active person. Sometimes I have moments where I kind of fall off the bandwagon, but generally speaking I am pretty active. But when it came to planning, like getting ready for my wedding, I was dedicated. I was so on it, and basically the main things that I did was at the gym I was doing all the 12-3-30, which is walking on the treadmill on an incline of 12, which is pretty steep, for 30 minutes at 3 miles per hour, which is also 4.8 kilometers per hour. And I was doing that every other day. Okay, every other day for 30 minutes, and it sounds like you think, oh, walking on the treadmill, that's easy. Let me tell you, it's so hard. Like the first few times I did it, I had to hold on to the bar because it's so hard, and you come off and you literally will be sweating, you'll be drenched in sweat. So it's such an effective workout. And then after I do that on the treadmill, that's literally the first thing that I do. So after I do that, then I'll go to the weight section. So I do 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps squatting. Then I'd do the same for hip thrusts, and then I'd do the leg press. I was doing deadlifts, but then like they give you calluses and my hands are too cute to get calluses, so I was like, no thanks. So yeah, and I pretty much do the same, and I would mainly focus on like lower body when I do weights, and I throw in like upper body, and I do quite a lot of abs as well actually. But you can choose like what, if you're wanting to do weights, you can choose what things to do. And the reason that I did this is because I didn't want to get skinny. So if you want to get skin like really slim, then obviously you can like run on the treadmill for like an hour or whatever, but that wasn't my goal, which is why I was doing this. So I guess your goal will determine what you do at the gym, but this for me was what I was doing, and it worked so well for me. I lost an inch by the time I got to my wedding. I lost a whole inch off my waist, so that was really good. Oh yeah, I mentioned obviously drinking 2 liters of water a day. That's good for your skin and also good for weight loss. Oh, and then the other big thing that I was doing, and I still do that actually till this day, like literally do it every day, is something called intermittent fasting. I've actually done this for months, like since like Ramadan. Before Ramadan I started it because I saw amazing results. In fact, I was doing it last year as well. I saw amazing results from it. So basically intermittent fasting is where you eat between a certain time and then you fast between a certain time. So I eat from 12 to 8, and I'm flexible with it. Some days if I feel like just having a snack and then in the like late at night, then I'll have it, but generally speaking for the majority of the time I just eat from 12 to 8, and then I fast the rest of the time. And it might sound hard, but you need to like just remember that obviously you'll be sleeping the majority of that time. But honestly I find so much success with it. It helps me to like manage my calorie intake, and I don't find it particularly hard, to be honest. And I'm not a huge breakfast person, so maybe that's why. But yeah, that is like a major thing that I have been doing that really helps me. So yeah, so that is kind of the end of the video. They're the things that I did from a beauty and fitness standpoint to prepare myself for my wedding and to prepare my skin and my body for my wedding. And yeah, so I hope these things really helped you if you're getting married, or if you just want to improve your fitness and your skincare game. If you've got any other questions, or if there's anything else that I've missed out, then please do let me know. The next video in the wedding series will be out in the next week or 2. Maybe that will be like how I like got my outfits and stuff, bearing in mind that I got married in the UK. But yeah, let me know if you want to know anything else, if you've got any questions. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with somebody who's getting married, or share it with friends who need to up their skincare game. Leave any questions down below that I might not have answered, that you might want to know. The next video, in the wedding series video, will be in the next week or 2, and I think that one will be kind of about my outfits, bearing in mind that I got married in the UK, so kind of where I got them from, how I sorted all that out. So yeah, I'll catch you in the next one guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.